Hey guys, how's it going? My name's the Breph and welcome to another challenge video. Today I'm asking the simple question, can you beat Pokémon Fire Red with only a Seviper? Why Seviper? Well, that's because I am dreadfully underprepared and I have got so much going on at the moment that I will confess I neglected to record a challenge video this week. So I put out a poll on my community tab. I gave whoever was awake at the ridiculous time that I put it up a single hour to choose between 4 randomised Pokemon, and you guys delivered in force. Seviper won this by a landslide, and so here we are. In terms of base stats, Seviper is not a bad Pokemon at all, with a total of 458, including a lovely 100 in attack and special attack, along with 73 HP and a semi-decent 65 speed. It comes with a heap of resistances, including bug, grass, fighting and itself poison, and only 2 weaknesses in psychic and ground. Why do I think this will be a bit more of a challenge in Fire Red? Well, because one of the gyms is psychic and the other one is ground. Can anyone see why this may pose a little issue for us? No? Just me? Well, that's your loss, because I guess that means you're going to have to wait and find out. But before we start this video and talk about the rules, I just want to let you guys know that I have an announcement to make. That announcement will be done at the end of the video, so please do stay around and watch out for that, because to me at least it's a very important announcement. Should we talk about the rules for this challenge? Because for once they're so straightforward that I don't even think that CPC is going to have any sort of issue following them. Seviper only in battle as ever, no items are allowed in said battles, but held items are fine. And finally for this one, the added stipulation that because I'm using a Pokemon with such high attack stats, I'm not going to allow it to learn any TMs. That's right, Seviper's moveset is the only thing that we are going to have to try and beat this challenge. But all of you gorgeous individuals out there, shall we crack on? The game begins and we choose the male character, giving ourselves the ever inventive name of Breph. We get to name our rival, and I've thought of a naming scheme, and that means that we name him Ocelot. I'm sure at least a few of you have already guessed the naming scheme just by that name, but in case you haven't, just wait. From there we do the best escape attempt we have, heading north to try and run away, but getting dragged back down to the lab by the professor. And when we're there, well, I'm not going to do things as I normally do because I don't want to spoil the surprise, except I've just spoilt the surprise. So I give myself the name of Venom and jump into the first rival fight, only to discover, oh hell yeah, we have a shiny Seviper. That's right, a complete full odds shiny starter. Oh boy, I wish I'd caught my live reaction for this, because I am not too embarrassed to admit that I may have shrieked ever so slightly, and given that for me it was 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't ask my flatmates for enough forgiveness. I was ecstatic with this, to the point where not only did we beat the rival straight away because all we've got is Rap or some shit as our first move, but to the point where I reset just to check if that had actually happened. I'd saved the game, I even exported the save file so I had it there to use, and I restarted the game, Control R, hard reset, ran right the way through with a brand new save. Got back to the same point and look, it's not shiny, which meant that we legitimately managed to get a full odds shiny Seviper, and wow, doesn't it look beautiful? Not only that, it's Adamant Nature, which just, I can't, I need a minute. Adamant Nature, for those who don't know, is plus physical attack minus special attack, which you'd think would be good for me, but going with Seviper's moveset alone, it doesn't learn many physical moves, and its most powerful attack that it learns is Crunch, which of course in Gen 3 is special. So what looked on the face of it to be a really good nature could just have shot us in the foot. But at the end of the day, a challenge is not a challenge without a challenge. Quote me on that. Boom. Anyway, with that Seviper done, I feel the need to show you both of my HM slaves. Yes, that's right, if this reference hasn't become a little bit more clear now, I'd like you to meet Tiki the female Vaporeon and Skullface. Please tell me you know the reference, there will be more mentions to it coming up, but if you don't know it by now, I don't think you're going to get it. Prove me wrong by whacking the answer in the comments section. The first person to leave a comment with the correct naming scheme reference will get themselves a shout out in the next video, and hopefully, if you've got fast enough fingers, one of you may already have done it. Anyway, we head off towards Brock's gym, and along the way leveled up enough to a point where we've learnt Bite. That's right, we get to take on the first gym with high physical defensive Pokemon, and we have a special move. Now, it might be impacted by our nature, but that does not stop us one bit, and Brock falls far too easily if you ask me. And yes, that means we've claimed the first badge without really causing us to have any sorts of nervous moments or sweats. So having beaten Brock far too easily, we make our way into Mount Moon, where we have to make a crucial decision, a decision that will impact our futures greatly, a decision that has the potential to overthrow world leaders and to crumble economies before us. Do we choose the Dome Fossil or the Helix Fossil? If you said that I chose the Dome Fossil because in these games I think Kabuto is a better Pokemon than Omanyte, then you would be absolutely correct. However, if you are a Lord Helix nut, what are you doing, man? Come on. Lord Helix ain't better. It's just not as good, it's not the same. The Dome will rule us until the end of time, and you will just have to accept that, or come Judgment Day, I fear it might not go too well for you. So now that I have some of you living in fear of Arceus's powerful hand, I feel like it'd be a good time to let you know that we headed into Cerulean and instantly went north to try and fight the rival. I say try, we did fight the rival. He was relatively straightforward and simple. He had a team that was easily beatable, and to be honest with you, I was kind of disappointed with him. I hoped he would put up more of a fight for us, but no, our moveset was just too strong. Our Pokemon was just too capable against him this time. So with that epic foreshadowing out of the way, we make our way to Bill and politely tell him that we don't want any part of the sick experiment he's got going on where he manages to get himself inside of a Clefairy or... oh boy, we're not interested in that. But he tells us that we don't have a choice, and now we're here, we are an accomplice, and that means we have to help extract him forcibly from the little Pokemon. So he goes inside a little machine, we press a few buttons and he comes out, and he gives us the SS ticket, and that means that we now have access to Vermilion City. But we don't decide to go there, we decide first, well, when in Rome, we gotta challenge Misty. And don't worry, there aren't gonna be any sorts of comments about her this time. Safe to say I've learnt my lesson, it ain't gonna happen again. Not gonna comment at all about her character design, because some people just can't take a joke. But we go and challenge Misty, and she's got two water types in Star U and Star Me. Do they cause me problems? Absolutely no, they do not. But I've got a new move in my arsenal, and I've got Screech. So I decide, if I'm gonna cheese it with the strategies that we are given with Seviper, I may as well do that here. So a Screech here, a Screech there, couple of poison type moves. I think it's Poison Fang we got at this point. Maybe even Poison Tail still, I don't remember. It's 7:30 in the morning and I'm recording this audio on the Friday morning, so forgive me. But we managed to beat her first time, and that was a little bit too easy as well, not gonna lie. Maybe you guys chose the wrong one and I should have done a far-fetched run. I'll tell you what, if we can hit 235 likes on this video, random number there, then I will do a Pokemon Emerald with only a far-fetched run. Why? Because I kind of want to do that run as well, and I want to make sure that I've got your support with it. Anyway, I guess we need to explain the next fight, which was down to the SS Anne, where we flash the geezer at the gates and gain access to the, well, I assumed it was a ship. It turned out actually this was just one giant orgy, and we, a 10-year-old boy, have just walked headfirst into something. Headfirst probably isn't the right thing to say, but we've walked in on something that we didn't see coming. Oh, that isn't making it any better, is it? But look, on this boat there's another fight with the rival, and he's evolved his Squirtle into Wartortle, which means that we've got much of a harder task in front of us, which is great English there, Breph. But essentially, the reason I chose to replace Charmander for this run is for this reason. We've got decent typing for all three starters, and before I started this challenge, knowing I was going in with a Pokemon with 100 base attack, I wanted the Pokemon to have the highest defense stat, which is why I chose to let my rival have Squirtle. Needless to say, in this fight though, it doesn't help him out too much, and we sweep aside his entire team and move on to the captain's room. Here we give him a little rub down, he gives us a little reward, and we make sure to let him know, I am the captain now. And then we go and sit in his chair, as if, you know, just saying that wasn't a kick in the teeth enough as it already was. He kicks us off his boat, and we're left there to watch it sail away.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
With the knowledge that one day we may find ourselves aboard a vessel that beautiful again, we make our way in to Lieutenant Surge Gym, and, well, we completely cock up the puzzle multiple times. It was ridiculously hard to try and get to the Lieutenant. But when we do, we find that his electric-type Pokemon don't cause me any problems at all. I was worried because, again, I forgot whether or not he had a Magnemite or something in this game, and it turns out that he doesn't, and therefore his Pikachu, Raichu, and whatever the fuck else he's got, they weren't an issue, which is 3 badges now where we've had no problems whatsoever, and I'm starting to think that maybe this run is just a little bit too simple. The question is yet to be answered whether or not that will change throughout this run, but all I know is that while we were making our way... That's the baker's van. Forgive me, I'm back and I've got some sausage fucking rolls with me now, so I'm a happy bunny. Where were we? Ah yes, on the way through to Celadon, we fight a hiker who's clearly in love with Pat Benatar, and while I'm a massive fan of her music, I don't think he expected to get fired away as easily as he did. Nevertheless, we make it into Lavender Town instead, and go and do something that I do very rarely. We go and fight the rival straight away in the tower. This time he's changed his team slightly to include a single Pokemon with the move, or ability as I should say, hashtag Breff's a pleb, Intimidate. That's his Growlithe, of course, which is a bit of a problem, given that I was really worried about how this fight would go, and Intimidate just made it worse. But the good news is that it doesn't actually make much of a difference. We sweep his entire team first time. So there we go. My worries were a doubt. This rival, man, he's not going to cause us any problems, is he? So finally, having talked myself in circles, we arrive in Celadon. And the first stop is Erica's gym, full of lovely ladies and a pervert outside. But one thing I didn't anticipate was this gym being very difficult. And I was impressed. Why? Because for once, I was actually right about something. The worst Pokemon on Erica's entire team was her final Vileplume. Both her Victory Bell and her Tangela fall victim to the power of Seviper's thick, green, venomous tail that just slides into all sorts of places. Don't know if you could tell, but I am very lonely. But it doesn't matter because we've claimed 4 badges and we're halfway to the finish line. And I decide my first port of call is obviously to go into the rocket hideout and fight Giovanni. So we make our way down there and we kick off the fight, and we realise that this man is going to cause us some problems in the long run. But we also haven't quite reached the long run yet, and he's not really an issue after all. So we collect the Sylph Scope, we head through the Lavender Tower and up to the pinnacle. Here we have to fight 3 Rocket members, and we defeat the first one and he runs away. We defeat the second one who runs away, and we defeat the third one who, you guessed it, runs away because he's a snivelling little bitch. And that means that we can rescue Mr. Fuji, get our hands on the Pokeflute and make a decision, because with the completion of that, the Sylph Company building in Saffron opens up to us and means that we can go, if we so choose, and do that section, the fight with the rival and the fight with Giovanni. But what sort of person in their right mind would choose to go and do that fight and face Pokemon in the level 40s when they themselves are only in the level 40s? Yeah, that's right. This geezer. Yeah, I'm that sort of player who would go and do that. But am I? Because when we get into the tower, we end up facing our rival. We learn that actually this isn't so bad necessarily. We've got a decent set of moves, we've got a decent set of strength, and it only took me 4 or 5 resets. Finally a battle in the game that was actually a bit of an issue. And this fight brought along some weird emotions. So, you know, normally in a Pokemon game, when things are an easy section, you feel happy that you've dodged a bullet, especially if you choose to do challenge runs. But this time I was craving some difficulty because it had been easy right from the start. This fight really did satisfy my craving for challenge. It really did, and credit to the game for making this an option, because in a single Pokemon run, this could be a new way to find some easy levels of difficulty if that's what you're after. There are obviously ways around it. We could have headed straight down towards Koga's gym, but that in itself poses its own set of issues, and I'm really glad I chose to do this, because the rival, when he finally goes down, gives us access to do something that we haven't done yet. Normally in a challenge run where I give myself a couple of HM slaves already with me, I don't need to add anything else to my team. Except this time there's an opportunity that's too good to pass up. The opportunity to claim a Lapras from a man inside the building, a Lapras that we named Kaz. So with that done, we head on up to try and fight Giovanni again, and I realise now that he is actually getting to a point where he can cause us some problems. Because it was a closer fight than I actually expected it to be, and part of me wants to say that that was a problem, and then part of me wants to sit there and say that I was glad that there was still another bit of challenge involved. You couldn't have that opinion yourself. I'm staying indifferent to it because I like progress, and this was progress. Having beaten Giovanni, we head over to the director and claim ourselves a Master Ball that we will most certainly put to good use. Why? Because the next fight is going to be against Sabrina. Yep, I'm taking my poison type Pokemon into the Psychic Gym and I'm gonna blitzkrieg the fucker. Is what I said to myself before I got in there and realised actually that she was a massive fucking pain. But I managed to get my revenge. You see, ooh, you're gonna hate me for this one because I hate myself even thinking about what I just did. We kick off the fight by throwing that Master Ball at her Pokemon. And we fail to catch her Kadabra, which breaks my heart every time. Luckily on this winning run we don't get attacked, but This is where it became a massive hashtag Breth's a pleb moment, because I was so stubbornly adamant that we were going to be throwing that Master Ball here, that I had to do it on multiple resets, and actually she took me into the double-digit resets. I honestly couldn't tell you why. I don't think it's got anything to do with the fact that her Alakazam can one-shot me from full health with a single Psychic, or the fact that when we managed to get past the Alakazam, we ended up faced with a Venomoth who knew how to fucking get rid of me as well. I don't think the weaknesses to our type have anything to do with this. Clearly the reason we couldn't beat her first time is just because I'm a massive idiot, and has got nothing to do with the game totally screwing me for typing. Either way, eventually, after many, and I can't stress this enough, many throws of that Master Ball, we beat her and claimed the 6th badge 5th. Yep, that makes logical sense. It's at this point I decided that I probably should head back and follow the story as it was intended, mainly because I don't have any other choice, so I had to head down to Koga's gym. Now, Koga. Did he cause me a problem? No, he didn't. Besides the fact that I had to use Crunch, obviously, and with our nature reducing our special attack, and special attack being what the Dark type is in Gen 3, that was really the only major issue. There wasn't much to say about Koga, apart from that maybe he should go back to his ninja training, because he's totally better at that than he is at Pokemon battling. Fun fact, as a reward for beating him, he gives us the TM for Toxic, but I don't need it. Why? Because Poison Fang. It may only be a base 50 power move in this game, but it comes with the chance to badly poison your opponent's Pokemon, and that's a lot of B's and P's in a very short space of time. So if we were to quickly weigh up the differences between Toxic and Poison Fang is a move that deals damage upon use and comes with the chance to badly poison, and Toxic on the other hand is a move that deals no damage upon initial use and is not 100% accurate. I think I'll take Poison Fang. But moving on, we head straight down towards Blaine's gym on Cinnabar Island. And we have another roadblock. And finally, we got one that I didn't expect. Now, we've got Haze on our moveset, and I, for the first time probably ever, decide that it's a vital move to have. Why? Because for the first time in this game, we come up against an opponent with 2 Pokemon with the ability Intimidate. And with each stage of our lowered attack, the increased likelihood of getting walloped by that fucking horrible special defense of ours in comparison, it just gets worse and worse. But as you can see from the failed attempts on screen, it wasn't the first time. And actually, I'd left a lot of trainers in this game, so I wasn't too fussed when I had to go and do some grinding. And I had a good spot actually here. I didn't need most of those trainers. I didn't need to go to the Seafoam Islands because the Pokemon in the mansion gave me enough XP. But I had to grind a lot of levels. Part of this grind brought me upon a Snorlax, and I had a genius idea. Catch the Snorlax. Yes, I caught one of the Snorlax, and I'm going to see how many times I can say the word Snorlax in this sentence. Snorlax. Yes, but upon catching the Snorlax, I'm going to have to stop now. We give it the nickname of Eli, and that is your final clue to the reference. And I've made it as obvious as I possibly can. The rest, well, that's up to you guys. Anyway, after a metric crap ton of grinding, we make our way back to Blaine, and it was a close one. It was a close one. Oh boy. Yeah, this was kind of triggering because I thought I'd gotten to an obscene level, but it felt like to me that we could only just make it, and that was worrying. Because although we were able to beat him and claim our 7th badge, we got something coming up that I'm not exactly fond of. And we leave the gym only to meet Bill, and he offers us an invitation to go with him on some boat to some far off islands. An invitation that, due to time constraints, we decline very impolitely. We tell him to get lost and we got other stuff to focus on. And that other stuff we focused on ended up taking us back to those islands because we had to fight Giovanni, the 8th and final gym leader and master of the ground typing. Now, I didn't even bother going to this fight, I won't lie, until I'd beaten every available trainer and done a metric crap ton more grinding. Why? Because he has a very scary Pokemon lineup. He's got a Dug Trio. They are very, very speedy. They are speedy boys. And they also hit kind of hard with Earthquake. He's also got his Nidoking, which is the one that I am most scared of. Because that thing has a very high physical attack and hits like a bloody dump truck. So to avoid that, I over-level myself. As far as I was concerned, at least for this challenge, I massively over-leveled myself. And we win first time. Yeah, but it was close. It was very close, which made me believe that my grinding was worth it. Because although we're able to defeat his entire team without much issue, and even bypass that terrible Nidoking, it felt like it was going to be a close fight. So I'm happy with my grinding. Slate me in the comments if you like. Please don't. I tried. It was like 2-3 AM at this point. Cut me some slack. Actually, I've just looked back at the footage and it's actually 5:30. Oh, I lost track of time. But either way, with all of those badges down, we make our way towards Victory Road. But before we can even get there, we have to fight that rival again. Our rival for the last time as our rival. And normally this is a bit of a roadblock in that for some reason the spike in difficulty going from Giovanni's gym to this is just insane. Not this time. No, not this time. This time, things went rather well. It only took me a few attempts and I didn't have to do much more levelling up, to be fair. And if you feel like I've skipped over this fight a lot, it's because I have. Why? Because I don't want to make another 45-minute video and we are on track for that. But with our rival defeated for the final time as rival, we make it to the Elite Four and guarantee this video will not be 45 minutes long. Because we've only got 5 trainers left to do, and that will be the game. The first one, of course, is Lorelai, and I begin the fight. She, of course, uses Ice types and leads off with a Dugong, and she took me a very long time. I knew from the first attempt at the level that we were that this was possible. I didn't know how long it would take me. I knew that going back and grinding would make it insanely easier, but I didn't sign up for challenges to be simple all the time. So I persevered and I decided I will brute force my way through with whatever strategies I've got. Unfortunately, I don't have many strategies, and that meant multiple resets. Eventually, after, to be honest, a good 10-15 minutes of attempt, reset attempt, reset attempt, reset attempt, reset attempt, reset a fucking attempt, we win. And why did we win? Because the one before that, we made it to the Jinx, her final Pokemon Jinx. And I fucked it up by going for a special attacking move when actually I should have gone for Poison Fang, which would have done the business. And shock horror, on this time of winning, Poison Fang does the business. Anyway, with her aside, we have to head in and fight Bruno, and Bruno caused me a few issues. I won't lie, he also took me a few attempts. Nowhere near as many as Lorelai, but still a few attempts. His Onix, well, they were surprising. They were able to tank a crunch, and they managed to get off some powerful moves. Unfortunately though, the rest of Bruno's team wasn't so bad. We did go down once to a Machamp cross chop. Don't ask me how the fuck that happened, but it happened. But at the second time of asking, when we get to that Pokemon, probably the third attempt, we are capable of knocking his entire team aside, and we're halfway done with the Elite Four already. Third up out of the 4 is Professor Oak's greatest conquest, and she uses Ghost type Pokemon. Well, actually it would be better to say that she uses Poison type Pokemon, because all of her team are Poison type. So the Poison type user, Agatha, which sounds really weird to say. But at the end of the day, we've got Crunch to deal with our ghost types, we've got Crunch to deal with our poison types, we've got Crunch because I'm fucking hungry. But to be honest, we weren't crunching down some food. Our shiny Seviper, and I still can't get over that. Look at its beautiful colour scheme. It crunches its way through the entire team, and that means that we're up against Lance. And this is where the problems began. It leads off with a Gyarados, which of course has the ability Intimidate. Now I did come up with a strategy. It wasn't a very good one, but it was the only one I could think of. I use Haze first to undo the effect of Intimidate, and then I use Screech, and then I use Poison Fang. Except by the time I'd used Haze, Screech and Poison Fang, we'd taken too much damage, the Aerodactyl comes out, outspeeds us, knocks us the fuck out of here. I tried everything. I was holding out for crits, I was using Crunch and hoping that I could lower the special defense. It just wasn't working, and then even if I did manage to get past it, Aerodactyl was too strong. Which meant that I had to willingly let myself faint and go and do some grinding. A lot of fucking grinding. All dreams of mine of being able to complete this with our green, dripping, thick, long boy venomous snake at level 69 had to go out the window, because we couldn't beat Lance at level 69. But when I reached the point of realising that my meme dreams had to die, it meant I had to focus on the task at hand. And the good news for the rest of us is that it was possible eventually to beat Lance. Now it got pretty touch and go, I won't lie, but we got fortunate. Nothing but fortune. I can't say that I was skillful, can't say that I was happy, I can just say I got fucking lucky, buddy. And I can chuck it in the fuck it bucket and I can move on, because the final fight is against our rival, Ocelot. The Champions team has not changed since the last time we fought it, and that means the strategy doesn't change either. We get incredibly lucky on Pidgeot, getting rid of it with, I believe, a critical hit, but all I know for certain is that we did not take any damage. Then out comes other Pokemon. I can't remember the exact order, but all I do know is that by the time we reach his Rhydon, we've done so without taking any damage whatsoever. I won't lie, this was key. Getting to this point was key. I've managed it a few times before. It wasn't an impossible task. It just meant that I was at a disadvantage. This was key because once we get rid of it, having it used Scary Face and lowering our speed, out comes Arcanine. And Arcanine knows Extreme Speed and knows Flamethrower, and either of those moves, if we get to a certain point of health, will kill us fully off. So the tactic when Arcanine comes out is to use Haze again, completely get rid of all the stat changes, and then set up the Poison Fangs. If we get lucky, we end up with the badly poisoned status being applied. If we don't, well, we've done enough damage. Good news is, either way, we managed to get rid of Arcanine, and that leaves his final Pokemon, Blastoise. Now, Blastoise. I got here many times. Many times I failed to get past him, but the tactic was simple. 2 Screeches. I get 2 Screeches off in a row, I use Poison Fang, it's enough to one-shot kill, which is exactly what we managed to do, and a shiny Seviper. I need to say that again. A full odds, Adamant Nature, shiny Seviper has completely made it through the Kanto region using nothing but its legitimate level up moveset. Unfucking believable, this run. What can I say? What can I say more? I left a poll on my community tab because I fucked up. You guys responded with overwhelming support. You voted in a mass amount of number. And the video ends up being the one that gets a shiny starter. The worst bit is, I'm probably never going to get another shiny starter ever again unless I start hunting. But my god, am I glad it was Seviper, because what a shiny form this thing's got. But at the start of this video I asked a simple question: can you beat Pokémon Fire Red using only a Seviper? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. Is the poison typing a good typing to use in this region? No, it's not. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's really not a great typing to use in this region. A poison type like Coughing with Levitate, maybe that would be different, but Seviper is not a good Pokemon for Kanto in the long run. Early game it's really good, late game not so great. Would I recommend this challenge to you? Yes. I mean, you probably won't end up with the luck that I had, but I'll be honest, anything's possible, especially in these games. And I've learnt that over the last couple of weeks. Anything is possible. If you liked Seviper's shiny form half as much as I enjoyed finding it, then please consider slapping a like on this video. Like I said, 235 likes and I'll give you a far-fetched run. And if you have enjoyed seeing Seviper in this video and maybe have even slapped a like, why not consider whacking that red subscribe button down below? And maybe even hitting that notification bell if you're feeling saucy, because that will let you know whenever I upload new content. If you're not already in the Breph Empire Discord server, there's a link in the description below. Please jump in there. I'm trying to be as active in there as possible at the moment, but there's so much going on I can't guarantee that. But it's the best place to be if you want to have a chat with yours truly and other like-minded enthusiasts. Hell, we've even got a channel in there where you can talk about how much you love salads. And yes, I'm looking at you two very specific people when I mention that. But anyway, your time is so greatly appreciated, so thank you so much for watching. As I've mentioned, please do whack a like on this video, please do subscribe, and do not be afraid to comment down below with any other challenge suggestions you might like to see me take on in the future. But before we end this video, I said I had an announcement, and if you've stayed this far, thank you so much, because for me it's a big one. Yes, I have decided I am going to be doing charity live streams, and I'm so glad that I'm finally in a position to make these happen. The format is very straightforward. I will be picking a charity at the start of every quarter. I will be doing one live stream a month dedicated to that charity, with the quarterly live stream, that's the third one, being a big one. Whether that's a 24-hour stream, a sleep block of a game, an entire run through in one sitting, I'm yet to decide, but it will be the big one. And at the end of that live stream, at the end of each quarter, however much we raise as a community for that charity in donations, I will send off, and there will be, hopefully, some more good in the world. I feel like now would be the good time to mention that if you are planning on donating, however little you feel like, it will go a long way, because I plan to support smaller charities where the smaller donations will make the bigger difference. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a PayPal, because if we donate through YouTube or a crowdfunding service, they take a cut, and I want all of the money to go to charity. So I'm going to be setting up a PayPal in the next few days. When I do these charity live streams, the links will be in the description of those videos. If you're going to donate, all I would ask is that on the stream, please donate to the PayPal link. It won't be connected to my bank account, you don't have to worry, you're not sending me the money, you're sending it to a place that I can use to forward it on straight away. But that's the big announcement, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to hopefully showcasing other games outside of Pokemon. You get some of my nice commentary over a game that you might not have expected me to play. Who knows, we may even be playing some Pokemon games on the streams. But all I know is I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm glad that you've been able to stay to this point in the video to hear that announcement. So now, I won't waste any more of your time. Your time is so greatly appreciated, as I've already said. Thank you all so much for watching, and please stay safe. I look forward to seeing all of you in the next one.